Hey, this is Tom, and I am a total noob at StarCraft. But a couple of my friends have been playing lately, and they think I should do some replays and become one of the cool kids, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do here this evening, is play a little bit of StarCraft. I just finished up my 5 ladder games, I guess, to start off Season 7. So I'm just going to put my stuff in here. And check out the very first game of my 1 versus 1 career here. This is it's 1 versus 1 game. I'm playing Protoss, and we've got another Zerg player here. Let's just pop over. Alright, so out of the beginning of the game is the GLHF U2, and we see here our today's antagonist is Primalisk. Primalisk or Primalisk, I don't know. Anyways, I've pretty much just building some random stuff. I don't know what any of these hotkeys do, so we're just gonna. Oh, there's pretty close, and there's the first pylon. And I think this guy kind of screws around, and I don't really know what I'm doing with him. I send him back to base instead of sending him to a mineral pile because I just have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Right off the bat, he's considerably better at managing his workers than I am, it seems, but I haven't sent a scout out yet because I'm just confused and I don't know what's going on. But there goes the gateway. I watched a couple of videos, and it seems like you should probably get a gateway out at around 12 supply or so. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I like using stalkers a lot, so just threw down a assimilator there, and I finally sent my probe out to go and see what the heck's going on. I'm always really bad at keeping my economy going. I don't know how many of these guys I have here. It's not too bad. Oh. Almost there. Here's our Primalist coming in to scout. A little bit ahead of me. And I actually saw him kind of disappear up here in the game, so at first I thought, oh man, he's doing something weird, but I don't think there's all too very many weird things that you can do as a Zerg player by sneaking into someone's base early. So he's got his gas going and his spawning pool here, so my inclination is to whip out a couple of zealots to take care of any Zerglings that might be coming down the pike pretty soon. And in the meantime, I take this guy and send him off to go get one of these observation post thingies. Putting down another gateway here, and I think that's pretty effectively walled off at that point. They might be able to get through the top here, and I think they do later on, but you can see we got got an overlord coming in here, and he's getting ready to dump some Zerglings on me in a minute. There's the first zealot here at 19 supply, which is pretty terrible. I always wonder, like, this. I remember back in the olden days, I would read the StarCraft manual, because I got the first original StarCraft game when I was like 10 years old or whatever, playing it. Oh, there's the first altercation with a couple of Zerglings. He pulls away here. 4 Zerglings against 2 Zealots. I guess he might lose that. I don't know. I don't know why I send those guys after them, because again, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I used to read the manual because I used to think that the story of StarCraft and stuff was really cool, and I remember that they used to the Zealots and other units that you were warping in would come from Ire and basically be pulled across time and space and straight into battle. And they weren't really trained like other units. They were just sort of zapped in from whatever you were doing. And I always thought it would kind of suck if you were like the one Protoss die and you were like going to the grocery store or like doing your shopping and all of a sudden you got yanked out and like placed on a battlefield and you're like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. Anyways, he probably could have taken me there if he hadn't have tried to get in here first, but he did, and I'm not really microing very well at all, so I still only have just the 2 guys and the 2 sentries here, but I do finally have the rest of my 4-gate going. And I just finished up the gateways roughly on time. So there you go. Meanwhile, I start popping some dudes in over here, which I thought was kind of clever. Because for once I finally remembered to set up a pylon outside of my base instead of screwing myself up like I normally do. And oh, he thought he was clever. Thought he was clever. He's going to take that little hillock. But yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of an army here. He's got a ton of money going here. I don't know if he's doing that. But this is one of the first games where I actually managed to spend my money more or less as soon as it comes in. Usually either I have not nearly as enough money as I should and I can't afford to buy anything, or I have way too much money and I don't have enough time to buy anything. So this is actually a more or less decent attempt on my part. So I just keep bringing in sentries here, and I guess I haven't really scouted this out very much, so I don't quite know what's coming down the road, so I just sort of put together a reasonably mixed bag of troops, and I'm bringing a couple more zealots, because I figure if he's still making zerglings, which I doubt, we'll probably need a couple of those. But, yeah. Chrono boosting another couple of probes out here. I don't know how many. Pretty good. Well, not pretty good at all. I need another 8 of those at least. And I'm kind of mineral starved at this point. Tons of S-beam gas and nothing to spend it on because I can't afford any sentries or stalkers. But it's not a total loss. I'm eventually going to do something with this forge, I think. I wonder what it must suck to be Zerg. It must feel like you have a cold all the time. That's what Zerg makes me think of. Makes me think of just like being infected with things. Anyway, I think decided to move these guys out and see if I can find anything to kill halfway between his base and mine. And this is sort of the first exploratory offensive measure. See if I can figure out what exactly is going on over in this guy's base. And I find a whole bunch of roaches, which is a bit of a problem for me. I do manage to get the sentry shields up, which is good for my zealots, because that probably would not have gone in my favor if I hadn't gotten my attack together. But meanwhile, this guy flies in with a couple of mutalisks, which is a bit of a problem, because I have absolutely nothing to defend against these guys with. I do manage to get a sentry, and I think I can afford another one here in a second. And he charges into battle and gets summarily destroyed. But doing okay up here with the roaches, and got a little bit of extra energy, so I decided to go and ravage up the base a little bit. About this time, I finally get a couple more sentries in, just enough to take out that last mutalisk. And fortunately, I have enough for at least one probe, so I get that guy coming together. It was a valiant effort on his part, but in the end, I was just the tiniest little bit quicker than he was. And I went on the offensive just slightly sooner than he did, and I think that's pretty much how I managed to come away with this game. I take out this hatchery. He doesn't do anything about it really at first. So he's still got all this stuff down here. But then he pieces out. And that's the end of the game. So I managed to pull this one off, just a handful of troops staggering around. And that is my very first Silver League game after my 5 straight losses in the placement matches. So there you go.